Hello and welcome to another Rover 1 video where I spend countless hours building an unpractical practical Jeep. In this video we will build, or rather cut, a fuel pump access panel in the floor of a Jeep YJ with the steel tank that has the circle fuel pump. If you're using the plastic tank that has the rectangle fuel pump access panel thing, then you have to refer to another YouTube video, which I'll link in the video or in the description, because that hole is actually in a different spot altogether. It's more centered. So I think that dot in the middle is where the center of the fuel pump unit is, but because of the ridges in the floor, I opted to move the whole thing over just a little bit. If you look at the fuel tank, it pretty well lines right up. And when you're pulling the fuel pump out of this thing, it comes up like this, and you have to tilt it this way towards the passenger side to get it out, to clear the screen, the pickup screen. So if anything, you want the hole to be over here off center, so that way you have more room to pull it out. So here's the square I'm going to cut out. It's a 9-inch square. It should be just right of center of the fuel pump unit. However, if you look carefully, I'm an inch away from the outside of that hole. I just want to keep it there for shits and giggles. If you look underneath, we will clear that cross member. You know, we'll clear all that shit up there. But back here, this one we won't clear. We'll be cutting into it. I'm okay with that, but it's up to you if you're okay with it. Since I'll be using 16 gauge steel to cover this hole, I think it'll make up for the strength loss when we cut through that U thing that I think adds rigidity to the floor. There are the final dimensions, and like I said, this 9-inch hole will be just right of center, or just passenger of center, of the fuel pump unit itself. So if you measure from this wall to here, the first one is 9.5 inches, the second one is 18.5 inches. If you measure from the inside of this thing here, the inside of this, all the way up 3.5 inches, and then 12.5 inches. So those are the measurements there. These measurements apply to the steel fuel tank with the circle cutout. That's what I got from this. So now this is what the hole looks like. I cleaned up around the edges and stuff so it will accept paint a little better, and I smoothed these out so that when I'm working here in the future and stuff, I'm not getting burrs of steel in my fingers, so it's all nice and smooth, etc. And there's the support that you can see that we cut into, which again I'm okay with because I'm using thick steel to go around here. Now you'll notice another thing, I notched these out a little bit. Notched it out here, and I notched it out here and here. That's so that the plate that I put on here will sit flush against here and not have to ride on these bumps. And then some self-tapping screws and the plate will sit right there. So yeah, this is what we cut out, and you can see the awesome shape of the underside of this floor thanks to me cleaning it up and painting it. As you can see, it's back up in place. You have very limited clearance with a stock body mounts and everything. If you had a body lift, you'd have a lot more clearance. Slightly right and down of center, that should be just plenty enough room. And there's the final product of the fuel pump access panel. I've only put 4 screws in, and I still got 4 more to do, but I'm going to get some better screws. And that's that. And I didn't silicone it or anything, but it's recommended to put some gasket or something in there just to seal it off. Let's go for a drive, shall we? Ugh. It's time to clean this up day. It's a mess. I cleaned it up, a month ago, and it was really nice, but now that the snow is here and it's all melted, this is all just soaked. Soaking wet. And, things begin to rust and stuff like that. It's all just a mess. So I'm gonna clean it all up. Spend the next 3 hours cleaning this thing and putting everything away, because the Jeep is no more this winter. Just put everything away, make it nice and dry. WD-40 the bitch so it doesn't rust. And it's a great way to stay in shape. He wants to help on the Rover 1 project.